period this morning. If you want to take a few moments of that to give an opening statement to us, we would welcome that. Maybe you could tell us something that we can't glean from this very well put together application.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
My name is Kimberly Rezanka. I know several of you, some I do not know from Seminole County. I have lived in Florida County since I've been 5 years old. Public service has always been a very big part of my family. I remember going to Rotary breakfast with my father when I was 4 or 5 years old. And so we've always been involved in community service, and that's why I'm here today, to continue my commitment to public service. Starting in junior high school, I was involved in service projects, Key Club, Baby Club, different things like that. And then through college and law school, the same. Then coming back to Florida County, I started working for the circuit court as a child law clerk, serving the judicial system. Then I was an assistant state attorney, got very active in the Florida bar, elected to the Young Lawyers Division, Board of Governors, 2 years out of law school, and then continued on to the local bar, junior league, lots of civic organizations. And I believe that being a judge is the highest calling of public service. And that's why I'm here today. I believe that I can make a positive impact in people's lives as a circuit court judge.
Thank you. Andrew.
Yes, Mrs. Rezanka, I know you're a recognized expert in land use matters and do that with Mr. Knorr and myself and Mr. Weiss's firm. In question 50 on page 25 of your packet, you state you can be a resource for other judges in these matters, so the body of law will move toward clarity and consistency. I was wondering if you could expound upon that concise statement.
Sure. As you and I have practiced against each other, there is a wide body of law, and it's changed over the years when Snyder came into effect, but there's still judges that believe there have to be certain things when they don't have to be. There's still judges that reweigh the evidence when they're not supposed to. So even look at, I research the circuit court cases. I get them updated through Florida Law Weekly Supplement. I get them weekly, and I read what's going on around the state. And they're all over the place. Variance hearings, special exceptions, conditional use. So I think it would be important. In fact, with Paul Gugelman, we had discussed maybe how there should be a land use court in the state of Florida. I think some states do have that. So that's why it's very inconsistent, and it's a hard body of law to understand if you haven't actually practiced it. So that's why I think I could be a resource to other judges.
David?
Looking back at the chronology of your different jobs, something that stood out to me was you worked at High Stacks doing plaintiff personal injury work for 2 years, and then from there you went to Convoy doing defense work. Normally it's the other way around, and it just sort of stood out to me. I wonder why you went from plaintiff work to defense work there.
I came out of the state attorney's office where I was doing murder cases and very serious crimes. I put in one of the cases, there was an elderly woman that was beaten very badly, and I tried the case. And then I wanted trial experience, and I did not want to go to sex crimes at the state attorney's office, quite frankly. So I got out, and I wanted to do civil trial work. And High Stack was one that offered me a job. The economy was not in a great place back then. There weren't a lot of opportunities. So I went and I did plaintiff's personal injury work. I didn't care for it. I did not like, it was very broad. It wasn't, to me, there wasn't a lot of nuances. There were lots of nuances. There wasn't direct law on what is fibromyalgia, what is that worth? So I had the opportunity, I had interviewed with Conroy Simber back in 1996, and they wanted me to work comp. I didn't want to do that. So I went back and interviewed with them again, and they hired me to do plaintiff's work, or to do personal injury defense work. And I did a lot of PIP work, which I really liked because it was number-oriented and I could understand it. So it was more of an opportunity to continue civil litigation, but in a more concrete and distinct area of law.
Captain.
No questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Gentleman Weiss. You probably know some of my partners, Mr. Garganese and Ms. Babb, and those folks. I don't think we've worked together before, and I've been impressed with your knowledge and land use zoning stuff. And people have written some very nice things about you. One of the comments that I remember, and I'm going to try, I don't want to get out of context, and I don't think it was a really a negative thing, but it's interesting that over the years, your demeanor, your approach has matured. Can you comment on that? How should I take that?
Well, and preparing for this, I spoke to lots of people, and I looked at lots of questions that have been asked before, and one is, what is your greatest weakness? And my greatest weakness is I am too direct. And I have been told that by many people, but it came to the forefront when I was secretary of the Bar Association. And several of my colleagues said, you really need to tone it down a little bit. And I'm very direct and straightforward, and I didn't understand that some people did not like that bluntness. So I've been working on that and listening more and paying attention more and trying to direct what I say to that person as I understand that person, would expect. Also, too, I think I just wanted to prove that I could do litigation. I mean, it's especially personal injury work. There weren't many women doing plaintiff's personal injury work in McGrath County. There were 3 of us. And so I think I was more aggressive than I needed to be. And over time, I've realized that I don't need to be that way and have toned it down.
Bill?
Morning, Kim. Thank you for applying. It's good seeing you. I already know the background that I need to know, but maybe you could share with us what you think your strongest strength is that you will bring to the bench to make you a circuit court judge that is known as doing your job.
I think my greatest strength would be being prepared. I love to research. I read everything I can to prepare for a hearing. I double and triple check my notes, my case law, make sure the judges have things in advance. One example is on May 24th of this year, I had 6 of 9 hearings before the county commission here in Brevard County, and they were all land use. And they were all very different. And I had to prepare for each one separately. I had clients coming in from Connecticut, and so I had to be very, very prepared and make sure all the clients knew I had other matters and work with each of them long before the hearings came to be. And so I think being prepared would be my greatest strength as a circuit court judge.
Thank you. Dan?
What did you learn serving on the Commission on Ethics that can contribute to your work as a circuit judge?
One of the greatest things was being open-minded, I think. We get a huge volume of information before each meeting, which is every 6 weeks. And going through that information, looking at the investigation report, the response to the investigation report, and then what the advocate recommends, a lot of times what the advocate recommends doesn't comport with what the investigative report shows. So when we hear they come before us, we can't take new evidence, but we can ask questions to understand what that evidence was. And listening to the advocates and also the respondents' attorneys. So just listening and being open-minded, I think, is probably the greatest thing I've learned.
I thoroughly enjoyed reading your application and your dedication to your community and all of this civic work that you've done. And I know in number 51 that you said sometimes it's hard for you to say no, and that you went asked to work for a worthy cause. If you were to be appointed to this position, would you use that energy and focus in one particular area for the good of the community?
I think my focus would be some of the things I still work with. I'm a strong advocate for children, friends of the Children Advocacy Center, and on the Children's Services Council with Judge McKibben. And I think I would focus more on those issues, as Judge McKibben is the chairman of the Children's Services Council. And we've been working on some funding issues and some fundraising issues. So I think that's what I would focus on more is children's issues and frankly, just learning the job. I know it's quite a learning curve, even if you've been practicing for 26 years. I think that's what.
If Judge McKibben were to get this seat, which would open up her county court seat, would you put it there?
You mean Judge Neighborhouse?
To Judge Neighborhouse, I thought. Yes.
To be honest, no, I don't believe I would.
Why is that?
I believe that my strength is in civil court and circuit court and criminal court felonies. I think that I could do a much better job and I would be more intellectually challenged there. In county court, I mean, I could do a good job there, but I think I would be better suited to circuit court.
Is this the first time you've put in before?
Yes, sir.
Why?
The timing is right. I have practiced law for a very long time now. I have done many very exciting cases, very challenging cases. As I said, six hearings before county commission in one night was probably one of the greatest challenges I've had because they were all difficult and we had probably 40 people show up in opposition. Also, too, my son has gone off to college, my daughter's in 11th grade. I have more time to dedicate to being a circuit court judge than I would have had in the past.
If you could pick your division that you would go into as a circuit court judge, which division would you not pick?
I think I would not pick guardianship and delinquency,
What is that?
only because I'm, having been a prosecutor and having children, I think that I like delinquency, dependency, excuse me. I think dependency would be difficult for me. And also too, I don't think my strengths lie there. I think they lie in circuit civil or criminal felony.
And finally, which judge would you model yourself after, at least initially, that you've been before, in terms of how you would run your courtroom, your demeanor, temper, etc.?
It'd be John Harris. John is very courteous, very patient. He allows everyone to speak as long as they need to. He will tell you exactly what he's thinking. He's very concise in how he delivers his message. He's very concise if he wants more information, what he wants in a memo. And he's courteous. He's just a great judge. He's got great judicial temperament.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks.